seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. Colder when you're frozen over like I am. Well, I know you know that like it's colder, colder when I'm older, older than I am. And I know you know that I have lost composure, but I'll hold you closer while I can. I never told you that I'm slightly broken, that I might lose focus when I am. I know you know that life gets colder, colder when you're frozen over like I am.
I stand back and I watch you explore in perfect visions like I've been here before. Falling faster, I try to ignore. I see you, I see you. I'll let you drag me to hell if you hold my hand. Tell me this is real and it will never end. This is not what I came here to find. Memories show that I'm out of time. See a shadow, don't know if it's mine, but I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you. suffer no fools. Serpents, daydream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. I'm gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Come cold blood, selfish. Your words are painless. I like when I drive and feel so dangerous. They say I'm a red flag, 'cause they want it so bad. You should know I'm holding on to what I have. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. You have habits just like me. Talk too much with strangers. Get way too serious around family. And I don't have any wishes, but when I kiss you, our lips fit well. And I don't have expectations, but when I daydream, I fall asleep. And our hands melt. It started out as teasing, but I had deeper meaning when I touched your chest. Now I don't know how, but if I did,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the NECC, here with another batch of Counter-Strike, and back with the two same faces that you're usually used to. Buckethead had a nice stay here, Vincent. I loved him, but we got you in here, and don't worry, you only missed one BO3. It's good to have you back, buddy.
Yeah, I'm pumped to be here. I was devastated to see that I wasn't going to be able to make it on our first week of games here for Counter-Strike, and but I'm back. Yes, indeed, back and ready to roll. The good news is, Marka, we have a similar matchup. We're gonna get to take a peek at a team that you got to see not last week, 2 weeks ago in technicality. Seneca Polytechnic up against Purdue University Gold. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I really am too. I'm excited to watch this Seneca team come out again, because it was not too great when we got to see them up on screen when I had Buckethead next to me, but I'm thinking it could be a little bit better for them today, but it does not get any easier. Last time they went up against the CSU Vikes Club, and tonight they are going to be going up against even higher ranked opponents, Purdue Gold. So this is going to be a rough one, Vincent, but I think the best place to be is where expectations are high, and certainly in this matchup they'll have a high challenge.
Yeah, I'm going to jump us right into this thing, though, as we can talk about the veto. And options definitely here. We're going to be looking towards a Mirage, an Ancient, and Anubis. That Anubis decider is something that I think we saw from Seneca before. Not necessarily as a decider, but willing to go to it. I think that Mirage is kind of... I don't think that I'm particularly, excited about this Mirage for Seneca. I think that when you're... In this case, I think an underdog, probably better to move away from maps that everybody's going to be feeling comfortable on, but that's where they feel the best. That's where they're going to go. And that Ancient picked by Purdue.
Yeah, it looks to be the same permabans that both of these squads have thrown out right away at the beginning of their 3 to 4 best of threes that they've combined played respectively. Of course, we have Seneca 0-4 in totality of their games, and then 2-1 over there, so they've only played 3 officials. But where Seneca have checked into this Mirage, they have picked into an overpass twice, which is, I think, actually pretty interesting, considering they're actually the ones taking it out of their series later on in that second part of the vetoes. It was a really bad overpass that they had just last week. It was a 13-1 loss to RIT, so maybe I can see that's probably the reason, but they picked into a Mirage before as well. And actually, I think I'm incorrect about that. They had Mirage coming up twice at the end of series. One time they played it, unfortunately, it wasn't too pretty for them. But I think that's one within their pool that they're willing to go for. Whereas it's the complete opposite for Purdue Gold, Vincent. They picked Ancient in all 3 officials that they played, and won it obviously twice out of the one time, or out of those 3 times. And the other one was a 13-11 loss. So it was pretty close.
Yeah, it's also the fact that there's been many times when they being Seneca, they have second round banned Ancient as well, so I'm a little bit concerned about that fact. But in reality, I think Seneca got to worry about their own map pick. They got to worry about Mirage. They can figure things out on an Anubis if that were to be the case. So for me, I'm most excited to kind of see where this Seneca team can shape up, because in general, I think that this is an uphill battle. I mean, I've got to watch a couple of these individuals play at LAN last weekend, and specifically Sasha there for the Purdue squad. I got to watch him attend his first LAN, and then also make it into the finals there. Did take second place, but was fantastic to see that, and honestly had some really good looks.
Yeah, that's an important thing. That was a fun event. I know you got to cast. It was Valentine's Day themed out in Ohio, I believe it was, in Columbus. So that must have been a fun trip for Sasha to, get that out here in a collegiate season that's mixed with ESEA play of everybody's variety. It can be a really fun one. Of course, we've heard a couple of these collegiate lands starting up here. Not everybody can quite get to those with how vast of a community that we have, but slow and steady, Vincent. They're really making these up. I know the orange lands at Syracuse have been a lot of fun. I'm actually thinking about heading out to Syracuse myself for a Fragadelphia event. I know that you're mixing a little bit of the collegiate scene and then some of the tier 2 scene with that city. It's a fun one, but do we have our kickoff? Yes, we do. We're reaching into this Mirage where, like I said, you've seen this as an interest from Seneca, it's been likely because Purdue has lost both of the Mirage officials that they played so far. I like those odds.
Yeah, I do too. I'm keen to see where Purdue are going to land. Talking about where these guys have been, 2-1 on the season, as I think you mentioned. But sitting pretty solidly top 20 college counter rankings. Love to see that. Gonna be an A play.
All taking a lot of damage. Ooh, from under. They're going for a couple of these kills. It's Dutzy that comes back to it. Seneca looking to shoot hard right away. Got Twix walking back up, and it's a couple of shots in the back that takes down Stag, and Alt will be wiped away in CT. This is Seneca looking aggressive to start, and I like their energy so far. It's also worth noting that we appear to be seeing Arvan in the server missing.
Yeah.
It appears to be Bob tonight, their best player. Guy with a lot of ESEA advanced experience, like you said. He's actually supposed to be their op IGL. He was the guy that I talked to before their game last week, and this is their former in-game leader, so I guess is about as good of a sub as you can get last minute.
Yeah, I mean, definitely true, but I certainly am still going to be concerned about that, considering the amount of experience and just straight up firepower that on paper Bob was bringing to this roster. So I am tentatively not super positive about that, even if that execute on A was really nicely coordinated. The timing on the palace swing whilst the move in through ramp was also really nice. So, you know, as much as it's definitely an uphill battle for Seneca, they've got themselves around, get onto the B site, nobody home on the A stack. Purdue, they'll save these guns, try again next round. It's a dream start for them on this Mirage.
Yeah, nice 2-0 start. Also really good for Purdue. Goal, they just get to run back this force buy in the next round, but for a Seneca team that, you know, their one Mirage output has been, like, pretty ugly. It was a 5-13 loss that they took, unfortunately. So I think we're looking to see them definitely get a little bit better than that. That was a 3-mapper that they had against the CSU Vike squad that we had on last week playing this team. And that was an interesting game.
Yeah, I mean, going deep, at least, you know, in that one, I think that's the thing. When you look at that score line where they're 0-4, just inside the top 100, the rankings, it's definitely not a pretty sight, but then you realize that they're playing close games. There is a reality here where a couple of things go differently, and they definitely could have found something more. Sasha, his timing's pretty perfect. He's going to get a backstab, but I think he actually pulled the trigger early. Even if he's got backup, they're just going to drop a molly and wait him out.
Swinging out to it. MP7 around. It's a 4 versus 3. And there's Offsetti with that Mat 10 spraying about. That's a good double kill, and as Alt attempts to reach in here for a retake, it'll be completely bruised for it. Seneca, this is a different heat that I was seeing them have on this Mirage originally in some of their post plants. That's really good.
Quality. Seneca cleaning that one up, even if it is just a, I guess, to be fair, the full force buy with everybody saving. I was going to say eco. Not really true. Sasha getting an AWP as fast as humanly possible. Get up in round 4. He starts in window. Smoke there. Gonna make it difficult for him to do much of anything from that point. I'll have to pivot back over to A. Seneca, meanwhile, starts their default. 1-2-1. Some more heavy presence towards the B-bomb site. Worried about some sort of push down and lower like we saw last round. Stag doing a good job here of, at minimum, really being a threat despite not committing. Bomb's still in TV room, so at the minute mark, they're going to have to collect that at some point.
I'm spotting Stag a little bit slow on this. To see the Seneca default go back to its roots. Flash to connector, 30 seconds, nobody peering to it. Stag takes about half that damage from this MAC-10, really trying to run it out. I actually land that kill onto the B anchor, but there's nothing believable about what's being sent into this site. It's going to be a good hold from Purdue. We'll see if it's good enough. RTX elsewhere has a nice kill, but it's a 2v2, and from Catwalk, they've got a spar, but this MAC-10, it's going to be hard to go far. Arvan is all that's alone and has picked up the bomb, but there's just no time. Purdue finally on their first inside a Mirage.
I mean, that round actually gets very close, way closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought Purdue had a good handle on the contain towards mid initially, but Seneca, the second phase of that, making a clean break, give themselves over to the A bomb site, but Arvan not able to survive long enough to get out and on the bomb site. Great round there from GeForce RTX. You get it at least one time.
Like, what a troll you are for making that as your name, good sir. Arvan welcoming himself back into the server. A great entry he's going to have on a B. And whether it was the, intended route of this play to go towards B after that kill, Polytech turned it around.
Hesitation here too is caused Purdue to have a rotator and then that rotator to leave. Still too strong in this area. What is that lineup? I've never seen that before. It's actually not a lineup and he's just throwing shots for fun. But as I was saying, Purdue pretty spread across this map. It's still the B site that's the most well defended by RTX, and rotation for Sasha. Bomb last to leave apartments, which is a little bit concerning, but with 40 seconds, there's plenty of time to get there, and it's all up to Dardar. Only man who can have an impact here close by is Alt, but he's in jungle.
Dardar to peek out from CT. Got this M4 to be aware of, and unfortunately, he's going to be coming up empty-handed. RTX elsewhere has gotten this kill onto Dutzy. But a bomb plant in the smokes, closing out the site, just as you see. A couple of members backpedaling from the Boilermakers. Sasha, a big kill in CT, and 2 out of Sasha with 10 HP. Flash goes over, bench to swing, and right now Purdue are going to be swinging for this thing. An attempt over default. Twix is found out. Although the op does ring, Sasha will sting for a third kill. And now the default defuse that can't be denied. The slow peek, and Sasha will provide everything that is needed. Even if Arvan can get the ace, it still won't be good enough.
Man, Arvan doing everything he possibly could. It's claiming the ace, but not the round. Purdue just stealing it away. That's an insane spam from Sasha, by the way. He already got 2 kills in CT. Done a phenomenal job enabling the rest of his team with some flashes to get back out. But he can do more than that. I mean, he's spamming through Firebox dominantly. He's pointed in the right direction. He gets there perfect timing. Lovely work out of Sasha. Fun getting to see him back in the server, this time in the collegiate shoes. Better buy for the tees, but it's Alt to give the opener.
RTX opens off of that 5 versus 4 to continue. Kind of pile on here. Bomb will be coming back towards TV room. We'll just attempt to maybe link up with Arvan. However, they're having cold feet about that decision. A site looks to be the way forward. They don't want to waste the position of a lap. Alt looking long range. Last
Good
time
setup.
Seneca went late into this A site, it went wrong. Alt picks up a really good first kill.
Sets Dardar up perfectly. He's just going to take the fight. Alt does the same. Purdue putting together the most dominant round that they've actually had yet. Some of these real close, some of these coming down to the wire, but Seneca bested. And twice in a row, it's going to really do a number on their economy, Mark. They don't have anything left to be trying to invest into this round, so Pistol's armor for the most wealthy of the mix. Who's less fortunate. I just have a pistol.
It's a pop open the smoke and leg on the Festi. Alt will have that second scope. Purdue looking like they want to fear. Put that scare into their opponents. Let them walk into a double op at the beginning of the CT side. That's not going to be really restricting them. Oh, it's a combat op and trying to get shifty. It will result in Alt's death. Dardar man here in the site. Nobody's looking his way. What a kill from Dutzy. And now the round is back in limbo.
Dusty just pulled off a miracle. Stag. I'm going to say he has a freebie here. The plant just now going down. Might be perfect. Arvan pops up his head. He is a dead man. Stag, how long do you wait? How patient are you?
See anybody sandwich. Back of the leg. Seen. And he's lucky to get past Arvan, the man that just pulled off his ace. But just juking out Dutzy. 17 health. It's a 10-second defuse. And a tap on the bomb once. That is going to get Dutzy going. The time is also a factor. And it is the biggest of them all. Seneca, they hold on to their 4th round because of the clock.
That is insane, though, from Dusty. I mean, no one's looking. No one's watching. Dardar has infinite time to line that up as best as he wants and just rushes it a little bit. That happens, but unfortunately, the price is heavy. Seneca, they take advantage of it, and they show Purdue that they're not done yet on an eco round of all things. Pistol armor, and it is a really risky proposition to play a double op with both of the oppers in connector and window, because both of their fallback positions are going to be jungle. It's so complicated when you're trying to wield 2 unwieldy scopes within that same area, and Purdue get punished big time for it. Sasha, though, gonna remind why the scope is a big deal, why the op can be so powerful. An opening frag. He delivers over at B.
Whew. Alfasi just trucked that. 1 gush. He'll still stay up for it. Thought that was going to be the turning point, right? Seneca just going to get that 3-round start, and then Purdue, we're going to reset him on that. Dutzy, that's a big check for it. RTX is considering how he can potentially, whip up the trade right now, but doesn't want to keep his life on the line for it. Alt, unfortunately, this timing here with Festi around that corner. And now RTX chips in. Bomb will be planted. It's a 2 versus 3. And RTX, I think, will start saving. Stag will follow. It's going to be a 5th here for Seneca. And this is a lot better than what we saw this Mirage last time, Vincent. Of what I need to remind everybody watching. They only got 5 in total. They got 5 right now.
Yeah, this is a pretty good looking Seneca. Well, I mean, they're about to.
They will soon. They will soon.
Basically already do. It's just 1 step away from sealed. This bomb gotta explode. And that's a round where Purdue had a man advantage to start it. 5-on-4. Oh my gosh, Arvan. We sure that this is not the starter? Are we for real? He's been having a fantastic game. A quick flick. Ensure that only one man saves. Purdue. Just that singular AK will save around it. And this is on the CT side. Purdue getting knocked down heavy.
And wondering if this is just a slow start, or if Seneca are coming in shooting without their best player, without their highest rated. But Arvan, he also has a lot of that experience too.
Oh my, oh my.
Big Zeus around that corner, and you just get cut up. That's you demon. Is he stopping to type right now? I hope he did.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You better have. That's incredible for Dusty. A little drive-by. I don't know if it's worth it to throw these guns away. I say throw this away. They have a man advantage, but only GeForce actually has any Kevlar. So one bit of aim punch and Twix has the backstab. How many can you line up?
Smoking the door. And now Sasha can't ignore this. Surprised they went that far. I'll be real, but it's not like they're going to save those ecos so solidly 2 times. They get out what they need, right? This is Sasha with an AWP. Yeah, but leader will need that.
Could have had 2 more AKs, though. I mean, I do think that there was value in potentially saving that, but you look how deep this is into the half, and the prospect of turning that round into a victory, where in previous it was a sure defeat. That's what they were banking on. That's what they were hoping for. It just doesn't go quite to plan. And Seneca Polytechnic right out the gate, looking absolutely stunning on their map pick. Double push ramp immediately. Do waste no time in this gun round to start to make more aggressive maneuvers. They aren't going to stick around with that play, though. They just jump in, get information, fall back. In the meantime, they're about to push Palace, too. There's somebody waiting for them. Arvan sitting there. He's got the freest kill onto Dardar. Purdue weren't happy with just a little bit of info. They wanted more and more and more. That might be their undoing.
There's a check from Twix and 2 kills put right on top of one another. This is with the rifles too. I feel like Purdue just are so stagnant at the moment. It's this Mirage that no wonder they've had trouble with. Sasha peeks into A site, gets a good kill here, but it's a 2 versus 5. And honestly, Alt and Sasha should be focused on the safety at the moment. The smoke gets opened up, and they know exactly where you're hiding from, biting from. And now Sasha risks his life to get that nade, but now it's agreed that it's going to get you in the end.
Yeah, steps back in for more. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the way that this was shaped up, both the rankings, the current standings within this season, everything telling me that Seneca potential to get really bounced here. But on the T side, they have been individually shooting better, had a lot of really nice rounds. Their default has been effective at, even if they don't get the man advantage every time, it's been effective at catching Purdue getting aggressive, which is the whole idea of your default. And they continue to do that time after time. I mean, last round, Arvan just sitting in a nice off angle in Palace, and Purdue never get enough. Never happy with just the push that they have. Very impressive T side from Seneca. 2 rounds left of this half, and there's a chance that they get 9.
Unfortunately, our production has brewed up a brutal meme. Our boy, Alap the Frog, is no longer Alap. Afraid he's James. James the Frog. I hope TTL is happy for me delivering it exactly in that sense. But the boy is unfortunately 0-0-7. It's worth celebrating, I would say.
Yeah, it's not been ideal. But his team's winning, so who cares?
I agree.
It's kind of wrong of you to do him like that whilst his team is winning, no lie.
I don't know. You know, Lap is, I shouldn't even be giving him this trouble because I actually talked to Lap last time, 2 weeks ago before their game.
I'm just
He was
saying.
quite a nice fella.
I'm just saying. You done him dirty.
Just imagine how much more insane they could get. He does get his first kill here. Maybe it's Speak of the Devil. No bomb to be demented here. This is Seneca blowing out the Boilermakers so far. 8-3.
And with that boom, we get another one, another victory. I'm currently blown away, personally. We're seeing about how consistently, I mean, with the exception of a lap, everybody else is having a great game. And that's why that's able to happen. Really need this 4th round if you're Purdue. I don't know that they, it's not that they can't afford to lose another one, but realistically, this is the difference between the pistol round being a big difference and you being able to afford to lose it. .3A on the start here for Purdue.
Missing the appointment in ladder. It's Dar that delivers. When I was speaking to Sasha before the game, told me Dar was the star rifler to work out for. There's certainly, like, putting a lot on him in terms of all the positioning, like a lot of responsibility. So I think that it certainly stands up. Statement there. A kill that's traded out over on the Say site.
I think that's part of the reason that Purdue are struggling so much, because Dar struggling in some of those more active roles, particularly towards the A-bomb site. So a big change in this where he's in ladder room. Dusty goes to peek back in, doesn't see anything, doesn't catch his escape either. Concerned for Seneca because the bomb is alone here at A. Op holding in line. Easy peasy for Sasha. Bomb down.
Long range for it, and that is the pixel paying off in the best way possible. Sure, not seeing the round go very much further forward from here, because let's face it, got a lot of ground to make up before then. And it's locked up. It's 4 for the Boilermakers on a Mirage that they've seen a good couple of performances on. All of them losses, though. Their last one in overtime, 16-14. And right now, it's looking like they couldn't really operate that defense so subtly.
Yeah, I think that they had a lot of problems. First and foremost, their aggressive A maneuvers were not always going wrong, but they never were willing to just sit and hold with what they got. Some big missed moments, thinking about Dar and the Dusty kill. But then also he's like repushing Alice after getting ramp control, going down. Those are some of the struggles specifically for Purdue. Don't know how long those are going to stick around, though, if that's going to be a multi-half problem or if the T side changes things. It's 5 Kevlars. Purdue by 0 utility. Seneca the same. So they do have a kit. And Alup gets the dualies. Dualies no armor. Said, I bought the kit. I've got the dualies. Respect that. Push for
Seems to
Arvan.
me how the food chain of that one will fall,
The bomb could get caught here. It's certainly being heard, I would imagine.
Oh, no. that is such a crazy scene. I mean, the bomb getting stunned in the back of the head. 1 minute has passed in this pistol, and the Boilermakers have hardly made any motion. There's a lab getting a couple of shots. Obviously, you'd like to see him stay up with those dualies. It's on top of Arvan's kill. A 2-player advantage here for Seneca. They land a Gush on Stag. Now it's confirmed from below. Bomb on the back of Dardar. Alt next door. Now they're to bring it this way. Got the dualies still destroying, even on the HP that they were at. They lose 1 member. Besides that, it's flawless.
That's so good from Seneca. I mean, Alec getting involved, finally seeing that. Purdue, very meandering pistol round. Like I said, bought no utility, 5 Kevlars. That usually would, for me, suggest something a little bit quicker, where you're going to go in as a death ball. You're going to play together. You're going to try and work some magic with the Glocks. They can overwhelm as a unit. You got to play those duels as a unit, though, for that to work. And Purdue, they don't. Call attack pause. But I think it might be not quite too late, but very close to it. Seneca can just win this eco. They'll be at double digits, 1 gun round away from walking this thing into the goal. Just need to tap it into the net. There's really no need to get fancy.
Obviously, this is no, like, hot take, what I'm about to say, being that this is about an 0-4 team, but looking like about the best that I've gotten to see them in some of the score lines as well. It's been a little bit thinner. Not today. Not against a Seneca team that is in the top 4 of what Group D have to offer, destroying. It's Arvan there through CT, looking like he never stepped a day off the server.
Yeah, I mean, Arvan's been insane. Like, mechanically, I feel like this is just not at all what I expected. Purdue continue to get destroyed. Nothing to speak of. No positives to touch on. And look at this buy. Because they full saved, it's 2 smokes. Excuse me, 3. Same number of flashbangs, 1 molly, 1 nade. It is so light on utility to get AKs out here. And it's not even that for everyone. Stag, fortunately being the team player to get utility, but he's got a Galil.
Just to, like, kind of spell it, Arvan doesn't have, like, a ton of, like, competing experience outside of Collegiate. He's also a 25 under elo player, which is really good, about the same as Dardar and Sasha. Where you would face it from a face-it pugging perspective. Also, Stag got a lot of elo. Can't leave him out.
But it's those guys that are really struggling for Purdue.
Yeah, Stag 5 and 8. Need more output out of one of your best riflers. And then up SD, get Dardar out, and team kills are coming through. Vincent, bad to worse, right in front of our eyes.
I mean, it can't get worse than that. He's just going to have to try and pull this back, but he's running out of both teammates, help, bullets, rounds, you name it. They've not got a lot of it. Purdue, money, seriously, it's looking stark. It's looking rough, and Purdue, I don't think it's going to happen on Mirage. At least this is Seneca's map pick. There's only that to fall back on.
Yeah, they got a...
And they're all in. Going for it. An ambitious call. They're going to sprint out A. Molly first, but they got the nade to extinguish.
Big nade. Detonates and almost destroys the entire thought of this play. Dardar manages to find one in the exchange. This bomb goes deeper in the site. Narvan has taken another out before even seeing the bodies. Dardar's still managing this round the best he can, but that Galil only goes so far. And Mac 10 in the end's got to pivot off their back foot and do their very best, but Seneca, in really record time, feels like we just got off the runway of the first half, and they're already at 12.
I mean, they're swarming. Never let them get to set their feet, set the motion, hope that they can get back in and have a post plant. No, Purdue not allowed that. At least the bomb down does give Purdue a much more reasonable purchase in what could be the final round of the map. Limited to 4 rounds currently. Seneca taking everything from Purdue Gold. I was questioning this Mirage, unsure whether this was the pick, considering Purdue have lots of experience here. Maybe not winning experience, but certainly legitimate experience in close matchups. But I stand entirely corrected, Mark. At least Purdue have a default. Get themselves out mid. Into smoke, top mid, the same situation as you would expect.
Really easy kill. Now 1 foot further towards this Ancient that Purdue should be more than comfortable on. 3 times they picked it in a row, 4 today. But in every single one of their series, they have not seen an output in the same way.
They don't know. Sasha doesn't know. The communication wasn't there. That is a huge miss. A big mistake. And that's going to cost them the map. Or the final nail in the coffin, really. It's not the only thing. Dardar last alive.
You know, looking at their last 3 series when, unfortunately, they got blown out on that Anubis late. That was versus Drexel. It was a 13-3 loss. Here's the swing and a tapper. Dardar, man, keeping them alive. Go further forward in this Mirage. Just at 4 rounds is your starting spot on the clutch. And you're into the claws. And now really looking sharp are Seneca. Pushing out in a series where an 0-4 team was waltzing in with low expectations and absolutely shattering them.
I mean, I am truly impressed with what we just saw here. That doesn't happen very often. You don't come into a best of 3 where the expectation is clear, you know, a wide, like 70 rank difference when we're talking about the college counter rankings. But, you know, a team that's not yet won a best of 3 in this season of the NECC comes out and upsets, even on their map pick. The way it happened was what was the upset. Not just that they won, it's how they win. 13-4 is a statement. I am very impressed with what Seneca just put together. I mean, I didn't get to see him last week, but Mark, this is a very different Seneca, as we can see.
Yeah, I think that this Mirage, you know, looking back at the one that we have just last week on a 13-5 loss that they had coming out of that series, is completely night and day. I mean, you see a different form. It's not with Bob, but we predicted that was supposed to get worse, as like, you know, he was the guy that was losing his man, you know, his right-hand person that was Arvan all last season. He comes back in replacement of Bob and just goes nuclear. I mean, besides him, it kind of feels like you're getting a lot better of a level kind of from the entire team. Like, I know we were poking some fun there at a lap for maybe not having like as many kills literally, but it doesn't feel like he's doing his job bad at all.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. No problems there for Seneca over that one. Purdue, though, beginning into Ancient is where we're going to be headed. We're going to hit a quick break. Whilst we're doing that, reminder, we've got another game live on the main NECC channel as well, so maybe check that out in the meantime, but make sure you come back here. We shall return very soon.
Again, why do you waste your light on me? Out of luck, can I keep my head above this time? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me.
but I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb but first, but I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. You were the calm to my storm. You could take the wind.
Well, it's this ancient that we got coming up, Vincent, and it better be good. Otherwise, the Boilermakers are about to throw a whole night out of whack. I mean, it could make sense. It would be a 2-0 at some cost, because I definitely think I was sitting in the opinion of Seneca losing 0-2, based on what I've seen. This is a completely new team I've seen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think you just have to be impressed with the fact that they were able to do so much good work on that Mirage. The follow-on question then becomes, how much more of that is there? Are we gonna see even more surprises? I mean, this team played close against RIT on Ancient, right? We know that it's like, you know, in the pool, at least in some way. And sure, it's been up and down here as it's picked by Purdue. I don't want to say that there's no chance that this is going to be that turnabout, that Seneca could, you know, maybe be able to win 2-0. That's not what I'm expecting. I have to respect the results here that Purdue have been able to put together. I mean, talking especially about that Drexel game, I mean, Drexel's a good team. They were able to win that series overall. I still have faith that this, at least on paper, you know, should be an Ancient that they ought to take over the line.
Yeah, I really agree. I mean, they have two good wins. It's a 13-11, like you mentioned, versus Drexel. It's a 13-7 loss that they have versus CSU. And other than that, it was that 13-3 win, right? So I think that's like a pretty good layout of their results so far, showing that maybe versus some teams they can, you know, have a rougher day. But for the most part, it looks to be a pretty consistent queue. You know, questioning the rest of the series, though. I mean, this was a Mirage that they just did not look like themselves. And you know, you have to kind of like come with the fact that, like, probably versus that Drexel team, I'm sure they were playing very, very hard. And I gotta wonder if it's gonna be the same with the rest of the series, with, you know, the point I was making before. Like I said, they have not had an opportunity like this. You know, the last time they went down, they stayed down in that first series versus CSU. So we will see if the Boilermakers can pick themselves back up.
It's a good question. We don't have an answer yet, but we're working on it. We're finding it out right here and now. It's one game here at the NECC making us get a whole lot more excited than we had thought and we had intended, and I'm here for it. B-Pop is seemingly the game plan. I said that. Smoke, flash, flash. That's definitely one for... Oh no, it's been missed. Oh, frustrating. I think that was meant to be for short. All up ready. Oh!
Big entries from Dardar, and that seems to be the star that we were looking out to be warned about. He's going to be pushing back square, dealt with by Dutsy, and it's a double. Twix now pulls up and makes it a 2v2 instantly. These USPs are really hitting hard, precise with these headshots, but buying a lot of time. They've got to understand that this is not a one-man's game out here. And with the molly and the nade, Zarvan approach and big swing. Twix looks to have that. It's Seneca that looked to retake in this pistol. And RTX with a good double kill at the end. where the Boilermakers needed it more than ever, it's a first on the board for Purdue.
Well, and it's these couple of guys. I mean, RTX, I think, was one of the individuals that were actually shooting pretty well. But for Purdue, both Stag and Dardar Man were, I'm gonna say, non-factors, especially when you highlighted how, you know, they should be star riflers on this team. That's the anticipation. So for that measurement, that line, definitely were an absent for us. That's got to be a difference already. The Dardar Man did so on the pistol. That is a deagle through no, not smoke. How did he die out there? Is that just incorrect?
I'm at a
You see what I'm talking about? He's like,
yeah,
outside A.
James Bond was also like an investigator, right? You know, for still bringing in a lab for that. He's like way further out of the function than he was 0-7. But we need somebody to figure this out.
I don't know if James Bond is really an investigator.
What, like, he's not part detective? I gotta say, it's been a minute since I've seen one of the films.
I mean,
Isn't there a whole one where he, like, gambles Casino Royale?
Yeah, but he's definitely not a detective in that.
Yeah, he's trying to investigate how to count cards.
Well, no, actually, he had the whole game
It's not
fixed.
like a real plot point. I have still not seen it again.
Oh, okay. I thought you just said it'd been a minute.
No, I'm a movie guy, but, you know, I'm missing a couple. I'm not perfect.
Okay. I'm never going to give you flack. Well, not never, but I'm rarely going to give you flack for not watching a movie, because it's me. Feels like sometimes I don't watch any movies.
I don't know. You've seen that last Avatar that I still haven't gotten to yet, and I'm kind of kicking myself for. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get out to see that one, Vinny.
Gotta get on it.
Good.
I told you, it's the best of them. The best is the third, believe it or not.
And I missed it in theaters, you know. So now I don't know what I'm gonna do.
That's tough. That one's what was worth watching, even at 3 hours and whatever minutes long.
No kidding.
Very aggressive.
Molly, that will
Seneca.
go out. I'm pretty sure it's called Avatar Fire and Ash, and we're gonna keep memeing about that.
Oh god.
The Molly's will burn up in the middle. A lap taking this distance, at least further into the B bomb site. Goes Purdue, but Ossetti catches Stag, trying to go all the way forth in the back site to get that control. Mollied out of that corner. They are all trying to compete from the back of this B ramp, and Arvan about to lock horns with ult here. There's a lot of space, but do they even commence the flick onto him? They do. They both hop on it. It's a bit awkward. He hits the player on the ramp. Dutzy gets on the bomb. It's 2 seconds away. This one kill, and Polytech should have their first round.
I mean, that's brilliant. Understanding where the rest of Purdue are located and just deciding, hey, we've got the bodies to just throw Dusty onto the bomb and then take these fights. There's not enough time for them to kill us and then track down Dusty if they're both at long or short, and they're absolutely right. Really intelligent out of Seneca, and that gets them their first gun round. We get to keep an AK in there. Purdue doing the same, but they won't be fully down to 0. They still get a little extra cash. Here's the A pop. Nobody home. Nobody in Donut either. Seneca gonna have to mount this retake from the outside. At least they still do get into Donut before Purdue overwhelm.
Yeah, they're gonna set up as solid as a post plant as humanly possible. No large flank forming. You know, this is a round that I question if I'm Seneca, even at the 5v5, but they're speedy enough to it. Right now with the MAC-10, this should be good enough and tradable. I mean, 2 kills out of that SMG means this thing is gutted. Smoke. That has to be thrown on the bomb. So Molly was there otherwise. And holding mouse 1 is Purdue, excuse me. Goodness gracious. They get that 3rd round and survive with 3 players.
You're thinking about
My mind's still in South America
I was
from this
gonna
morning.
say it. You're thinking about the Peruvians that we casted this morning. That's definitely what it was. It is Purdue, though. Levels up. I really always enjoy, and I find myself praising it so often, where if Purdue in a round where they need to try and change pace on this map, it's just so nice to be able to like pull a fast A rush, find out and test what the defenses look like, especially when Seneca have already shown that they're willing to play aggressive mid, and they did last gun round. So it's a pretty perfect read. It's a stack. Oh, but it's not gonna get anywhere. Dardar, we're starting to see that star power. Starting to see that reality become a bit more in focus.
I mean, this is a T. This looks really, really, really well practiced. The evidence would suggest that. But, you know, we were still questioning that energy for Mirage. Like, if you can't frag out and, you know, figure this out in Mirage, then I'm questioning your level for the rest of the series until you prove me otherwise. And I've been proved otherwise. I'm impressed so far.
Yeah, I think that, but let me give you a little credit. I think it's very reasonable to ask that. That's not a crazy statement to be making. But as we said, the individuals, like, I mean, Stag 6 and 2, Dardar is 5 and 2. These differences are supreme. Like, they're very significant.
Need to go a little bit further off ST. Is to go and tap down to alt. That's a good check. 5 versus 4. At least seeing the head top of middle.
Could still be good here for Seneca. They've only got 2 on the bomb site that they're heading to, but that's a big shot from Arvan. Bestie needs 1, and he does deliver that. Nice time for Dusty to rotate, and the op's still a threat.
CX, what can you post up here? Some pretty decent impact on map number 1. He was lurking out apartments, but here, trying to lurk out of cave. Lunge out of cave, I think is more accurate. He will be disappointed. It's Purdue on their line. It gets shut down. And finally, Seneca got a little bit of money in their pockets, too, behind this gun run win.
Yeah, I think they do need a little bit more where that came from. Purdue, healthy in that economic state as well. Oh, their door smoke that they're throwing from spawn is missing. They aren't going to realize it. Real nice fight, though, for a bestie, and Alep does the same. I think Purdue basically just have to go B now. I know the bomb easily accessible. I think they're just going to wait on alt to return. He was over an elbow. Oh, there's no need for this, Dusty. There's no need. Oh, he's so lucky to be alive.
Sasha walking the SOP up slowly. With everybody just right behind him. As soon as this molly comes out, they know what type of challenge they're going to get. Up to the back of that square. You know, there's still enough time in this round to question this, but this is the hit. Not Festy. Just slick off the line. Got a good kill right away. 4 versus 2. And Sasha wants to get a foothold into cave. Will stay there.
Very reasonable retake. 4 on 2. And this one's gonna go about as fast as you could like. Sasha all alone.
That first kill, still sprinting it forward. Arvan takes out the pistol. And Seneca put these 2 rounds in a row all of a sudden together.
Yeah, I think Seneca making a pretty good statement in these last couple of rounds. It's aggressive in cave. They take fights. It's not been just one-dimensional. Seneca, they showed that their mid-take is very reasonable. They have not been falling over on those B-site holds, even if I got a little bit scared when Dusty is overswinging.
Here's T-side, not really impressing me all that much right now. Arvan, another aggressive fight, this time out towards A. Alt goes down. He's the only player maintaining space in that area of the map. A full take mid as well via cave, but it's a nice snap for Purdue on B.
And unfortunately, Lap is taken out in the spam. Trying to feel out what was actually available to stand and fight from. Seneca see this game ender smoke. Know that their round is close to being over. And Twix and Arvan find a spam like that last time. That encouraged them to continue forward with it. Just between these two terrible points is Stag with the mouse jump, and all of a sudden it's a third in a row for Seneca. This was Purdue holding so tight in these last two post plants, they pulled apart.
Dude, I'm impressed with what Seneca have been doing. These little moments where they're working together and really well coordinating those retakes. They're not over swinging. They're playing this as a unit. It's very tight, and it's really impressing me. Seneca bringing themselves back into contention in the season even. You know, I know we're still relatively early, but I mean, we're right past the halfway point. Not a great nade. Alep's got a lot to deal with. Only going to be able to post one.
There's a lot here. It's the numbers sprinting into B, and they're overwhelmed. Offsasti gets a second in the sight. Dardar trying to reach for it in 2 down, and it would be an ace clutch for Dardar. 3 kills deep in this round. I mean, this would just really interrupt all the progress that Seneca make. Darvan staring out this smoke, and he's taken out. He has to know that he's right behind him. Dardar 1 kill away from the 1 versus 5 clutch, but Seneca, they pulled a 5 rounds themselves. That's 4 in a row.
Yeah, that's an expensive one, especially when you're thinking that Purdue bought pistols and armor. But Seneca, they've been relatively strong in some of these other rounds where they've been able to build up a pretty nice bed of cash to fall back on. And they aren't going to have to use all of it either in order to get a full buy this round. I think Purdue need to be more mid-centric, to be honest. That's what this round is going to look like. You see Dardar, he's in spawn. He's ready to throw utility for a mid-take. Alep alone here is a little concerning.
GX with that next check. You know, Vesti walking down the ramp. Flashed. And right next to Cave. Vesti not making that contact because the smoke is still down. He's going to go further into T-spawn. What a madman. This is the only play that could be interrupted. They're going to be screaming in the team speak now. Probably are frightened from just the positioning. RTX still making his way to the site. Purdue with a man advantage, reaching into B once again.
Oh, but Dusty staying alive and getting even more than that. It's magic for Seneca.
Sasha behind the smoke. I mean, all just waiting in the wings. A couple of spams that cost them, you know, exactly what the peaks they're going to take. It's Twix from the back. 3 versus 1. And now the swing from Cave. Seneca was 6 here. And this is really sticking to the first half well. Their CT side is looking to really live up to the great performance they gave to it. Fortunately, versus that 0-2 loss to RIT. That's one of their better maps too.
Damn, I mean, this is everything you could want and more out of this series for Seneca. Dusty, that was a incredibly important multi that he just posted, but it's the pivot too. He deals with the long push, comes back for the short push. He's there when they need them. Purdue getting a bit overzealous, start to push forward. They think they've got the round unlocked because they have a man advantage, but then in doing so, they give it away. This one, I think attack, is that what this is? I forget on this HUD, if I'm being honest. There we go. Yep, it is. I should just trust my instincts. You know, at this point, if I don't have good instincts on that stuff, then what am I doing?
I would agree. I would definitely agree. Won't be too long of a tech pause either. We'll get Stag back in the server. Not a player you want to lose. Not momentum you want to lose either, as this thing has been sailing through nice pace. If you're looking to see Seneca make this a 2-0.
But not a guy you want to lose. But both Stag and Darter have been significantly limited since those first 4 rounds. Think about where they began. Now, still doing okay. Still allowing Purdue access to bomb sites. They're doing their job. But Seneca are winning in the post plants, the late rounds. All of these moments, when it comes down to the wire, Seneca are victorious. There is also something that they need to keep in mind. CT side preferable on this ancient map. So, if Purdue were to find a way to tie the score line, I do think that I would still favor them.
A great shot that's so close, and Festi swings back. This is the second kill that he's going to be getting right at the front of Cave. Arrow seen by Stasha. Walking back. And now, with the flash that goes right above the square, it's a good kill that he's going to be pulling. But still, even with those 2 kills at Cave, it's not going to prevent Purdue from getting in.
That smoke at Game Ender is just really frustrating. They've naded it open just to check that nothing's going down. But they're going to have to start moving faster. If Festi and Twix rocking on this flank, that's going to give away that they're on the prowl. I just don't think they can get back in. The time is expiring.
2 versus 1 for Stag. And 12 HP. This is going to be such a hard kill to get. And then defuse, instant pivot with that Galil. And it's the 5-round streak cut off. This is finally where Purdue can feel like themselves again.
Yeah, they're shaking off the, not even the rust, just the frustration from what this half has become. Finally gonna also not fully break Seneca, but they aren't fully going to be able to afford everything. Got an auto shotty in there, at least they did. They've actually sold that. Pardon me. Been getting an MP9. 2 of the nades are so deadly.
This is just being destroyed right in front of their faces. It's Purdue that unfortunately see their T side flattened in the end.
Nice. Just been informed that that was a team nade in Jaguar. That feels bad. Gonna stall him out significantly. Alt has grabbed the bomb, but he doesn't realize that Arvan's in spawn. Dead and gone. 7-5 at halftime. Seneca Polytechnic winning on their CT side. Not insane by any means, but still, they continue where they left off on Mirage. I was concerned that with better performances from Dardar and Stag, which we have gotten here, this would maybe be a non-issue of an Ancient. But we've learned that that is not the facts. That's not the case. Seneca, even still, fighting and fighting well.
It's that CT side that will be a very interesting conversation piece. Purdue, pick up that opener on that pistol.
No kit here. Seneca just now punching in the digits. Take long control. 3 there.
There's RTX with that shot onto Alt, and now they're really feeling it. I hardly even have a chance to react. I feel like the moment I open my mouth, Vincent, you actually get that first kill. and it's the last inside of the bomb site to get Purdue 6. You can practically call this a tied game. I'm not sure what the call, though, is going to be from Seneca. They got a good chance to force back.
Yeah, this is a first round that's a statement from Purdue that gets them right back into the driver's seat. Bomb plant. I was going to say, makes it very reasonable to be buying here, but don't have a whole lot. Intel B, it seems, once again, halfway smoke. That's just to get the bomb down, and it's successful at that, but I mean, this type of all-in maneuver is one that you do on a full eco, not a force buy. And Arvan is so far away.
Everybody keeping their distance. A lap now with Vorback's turn. We'll see if he can find the bomb even. Doesn't attempt it. 2 with the MAC-10. And it's a honorable try. But not going to deny the tie. Or the lead being extended. 7-all is your score. This is a game that is tooth and nail. And is really giving the same energy that you had versus Drexel and CSU. This is the best of Ancient coming together, I think.
I can see that too. I like the Seneca are saving. The bomb plant, you could reasonably make an effort to go for a force buy again, but you don't want to force buy yourself through the half. And I mean, you and I have both seen that happen many a times. That's a trap that Seneca Polytechnic just not going to fall into. Bomb down in a very centralized location. It's still in T-spawn. Meanwhile, Alep just dropping down. That's going to... gonna give away a lot of information.
Deagle peeking out of the corner. It's going to be particularly hard to pull that off. Arvan running back. He's honestly got pretty far himself through middle, but he's got a teammate. Might just pass. Player in the smoke in a main, the way we watch it. The flick over. Stag gets that. No surprises there. Okay! Hold the phone. This T side at the moment. This is bad in a couple of different ways. The bomb back in spawn. There's Arvan to go and collect it. Or at least attempt to. Yeah.
I mean, even if he knife out sprinted the entire way. Can he get to A?
Not like the... probably.
Yeah,
he should be able to get a bomb plant. Even with this sidearm out.
Oh, God.
Bro is, like, playing with us. He knows exactly how the time is. Arvan. Subbing back in for Seneca tonight. Left after the last semester. Replaced in. When you got to call on one man, you got to call on the considerate.
Oh, my gosh.
Concerning 2 sets of feet. Ran through CT. This would be a round that he has no right to even reserve. Arvan is taking him halfway down, and he nails it with the headshot. Seneca, say what? Say yes to a clutch. It's 8 rounds just like that. Unreal scenes.
It's that incredible adjustment from Dusty on the Deagle to get them into the round, and then Arvan was so removed. 25 seconds on the clock, has to run to collect the bomb, pass through just enough time to get the bomb planted, and then goes Temple side. Purdue never check, and they never get a damn chance. Absolutely insane from Seneca Polytechnic. And Purdue, be completely blunt with you, I think they are a bit stunned. Obviously a tech here, but genuinely probably don't know what's just happened. even more accurately, how to work it out in the brain, how they can bounce back from that. Look at their money. It's in the bin. Not just on the top. They can't go recover it. Can't pluck it out. It's deep in there. I feel like it's painful for Seneca. I don't know who has the tech issue here, but we're back in it. Painful after that momentum swinging effort from Arvan to have to be waiting, be sitting on your hands. Can't speak. They've gotten through, made their way. When Purdue have bought here, this is a potentially game-defining decision. They win, no worries. But if they lose, this could be where the snowball starts. Big hole there for RTX. Stands him up, knocks him down over in Cave, able to win his duels ×2.
I'm really not a fan of how separated Seneca are. Tutsi opens up the B site. All elsewhere is going to clear middle, so it feels like there's 2 paths in the round, and both of them are going to be running through Dutsy's name. Whether it's Dutsy going down and bringing everybody to A, and then frolicking to the other side of the map with the bomb, there's options. But unfortunately, the time is also going to catch up to you. It's going to pass anyhow. Stag just waiting for the smoke to clear, and he's got Dutsy on the other side. Life is going to go a bit deeper on the right. Low HP on the first player, and then put in his place. Alep, unfortunately, misses the off shot. This was an insane round opportunity that they were given off of Arvan's clutch. They better not drop it. Alep now has to go. And standing, double zooms, sees exactly where they're sparring from, but now the swing, and he does well for one. Got to find Stag, but he just shoots him out, sees the barrel, tries to react, blades are pulled, but Stag will make sure that he has this thing. No funny business involved for 8 rounds, all in this Ancient. These last 5 minutes, these last 2 rounds that we have just passed through have been so turbulent.
The ups and downs, the back and forth. It is nobody standing above the rest. Purdue, they do pull off at least a stop. But, I mean, the money's good. I think Seneca should force here again. And they'll do just that. They've got 5 rifles. Plenty to work with. And in my mind, might be a perfect time to dial up a mid-take. Bomb towards B. Seems kind of like it's going to be that. Default nades in order to get them lane. Purdue. Keep it slow. Be considered really aggressive from Twix. I don't know about all that. I mean, he just like walked out A for fun.
Towards A now. A couple of shots put out by Alt. All middle clear. Concern now at A. Excuse me over at B. .C constantly finding kills in this part of the map.
I'm ready to go over there, but I mean, you're talking about separation and all that kind of stuff. I'm even more concerned now. 2 stars here. Dusty just not going to be able to do it alone.
The 4v2. Lep, unfortunately, I mean, he's not alone. I mean, he was alone there. I think that's a part of the problem, is Seneca not having these trades. Oh, Arvan. Hey, man, if he had 30 more seconds at his disposal, I bet Purdue would be shaking for it. Now with a 9-round total, Purdue take their lead right back. Gets this op out. I was a little worried there for a second. He might peek in the middle and die. None of that.
With that, Purdue have taken control of this map. They've done maybe even more than that. Though Arvan gonna get what he can with this AWP. I'm feeling that Seneca decided with this half force buy that they're just force buying into oblivion right now. And it might work. It always can work. But it is very scary for their long-term prospects. I'm still T-spawn.
This is a terrible, thing that keeps happening. Like, for both of these two sides, that's been kind of a bruise for it. Alvesti at least can go long range in that deagle. Not as easily as some of those rifles can go, but Arvan reaches further on that AWP. That's one more than they had prior to. Feels like ult here is really the only sturdy leg to stand on. That is a huge blunder. Dardar man whiffs through CT, and it's all in ult in RTX here, but now just ult. Standing on his own. Fakes the plant.
Well, that's crazy to go all the way around. Okay, he won't. He's just going to go through Temple just to escape, just to get out of right side. But ult, I mean, he's not peeking, so, I mean, Festi not going to be needed to do that. 1v2 clutch here for ult.
Feels like he should get caught right on this first angle, but he reacts to it just perfectly. Smoking the bomb, he knows the rules. Now another 1v1. Arvan, is his luck running out in the A site? Halfway there, it's a 5-second defuse, and 10. That is pulled first by the Boilermakers.
Might be so perfect there. Just having that smoke is such an asset. He drops the smoke on, and once he gets the rifler, Seneca, I don't want to say they lost the round, but it becomes so unwinnable for Arvan. They save another op, and they get a bomb plan, and now the loss bonus is there. Yeah. They have fallen into the trap of the force buy. And at this point, it's not even really a trap. It's just a good decision because it's reasonable. I need to write like an essay on the force buy trap.
I would love to see you in like a video essay. Just like yapping.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like my favorite YouTube genre.
Mine as well.
Ult with a great angle, and that is a stunning shot. This guy has been really all the structure that Purdue have put this ancient map on. Layer after layer. Seneca have come to a hard halt. Drops down from the top. Sasha on the site. Darter man with the big swing. This is a 5 versus 3 here. And where it's gone this bad for Seneca, they haven't really normally been able to pull it back. Now with that Arvan and his clutches. Ult here inside the donut. Still just looking like a devil. That's his third in the round. Dusty in a 1 versus 5. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, Dusty's been really insane for Seneca, but it's too much to ask anyone. And he loses it on the first attempt. Dardar and Alt. 5 between them. Purdue with 11. And yeah, it is indeed the trap. Seneca without a bomb plant. It's not the greatest to buy, but Dusty's already made that decision. The rest of the team following suit quickly thereafter. They put a lot of their resources into getting utility, though. I do like that decision. To get this utility, they're just going to go for a mid-fight. Isolated is ult.
This is what they've been waiting for. Molly placed on his head. Unfortunately, Alt coming up here empty-handed, but Sasha in the sight. Not that same sentiment. Flick that he's going to be controlling all the way to the finish line. Sasha sticks it to him with 3 kills on this op, and it could be 4. Sasha, from this point in the round forward, will likely to try and hide and protect on the level of HP actually allowed. But just around this corner, even hopping out, Sasha! A man with no fear! This is insane. And now with 12 popping up on the board, it won't be Purdue's pain. It will be their joy lifted back up in this series. It feels like we're going to get all the way to that Anubis, where that Anubis has been pulled into the pool of only one of our 2 teams today. So that's where I feel our series going, Vincent. The Boilers with the only history on Anubis.
Yeah, I think that they certainly will be the favorites there. What is different, man? Been the favorites all series.
Yeah, but that one should potentially be with this new energy, that advantage, the foot coming down. They're a team that has went 2-1. I mean, taking wins over Boston and Drexel. Drexel Collegiate. Really legends, to be honest with you, in the space. In a couple of years since they've like reached their full championship pound, but we're always a reliable university to watch along to see how they go for it. Seneca here showing really nice strength. I think this one is going to go in to the loss category of Ancient, you know, next to the 13-11 RIT loss, and look okay. I feel like the energy of this game, not there that much. I feel like, honestly, this could have been a little bit worse without that Arvan clutch. I mean, no kidding. But without that, it feels like maybe we're not getting too excited about any level or reaching at all. Without those heights, this map coming down. 35 in Twix here. We'll see you on Anubis next, but we'll see if he can pop a couple more heads. It's a 1 versus 5. He is really gonna be seeing himself into, apparently. 3 kills that he has managed to recover. Now sprinting in off of the reload. I think that is gonna be as safe as a swing, as safe as a bet as you can make. It's gonna be Stag finishing 13-8 here for Purdue Gold. We're gonna be headed to an Anubis and essentially a best of 1 to finish out our series.
A lovely recovery out of Purdue. I think that's the full storyline. Stag and Dardar, man. I was talking about how entirely missing they were on Mirage. Well, you know, from start to finish, they were here on Ancient. And that's definitely the biggest difference between those 2 maps. Also, you could just see a lot more confident in the way that they're playing those situations. I do think that it's really unfortunate. Arvan's clutch gets them a huge opportunity, but it also starts the ball rolling in a direction where they become stuck in this force buy mindset where they've got just enough money to start getting a reasonable amount of weaponry or a reasonable amount of utility, but never both. And so for them, I think ended up actually hurting them a lot because they never got off the ground. They never got to like run the strat book because they were always on a half buy, on a weird buy or whatever. It's not really anything that you could do about it because every time you're there, you're making a reasonable decision in the moment. And that's why, to me, it's like a little bit insidious. I'm just kind of building that story up, but I think that is a reality.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing, especially to pay attention to going into a map where we know the T side is about to be so telling for how this thing is to go. And I think really tempting in terms of like what opportunity you do have to force buy there as well. So that's something definitely to look out for here. And Vincent, I couldn't be happier. I'm on stream. We're getting 3 back-to-back maps, 2 weeks in a row, 2 weeks separated. Don't let me get that wrong. But hey, 2 Counter-Strike broadcasts, 3 map series. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. The Anubis up next. We're going to take a break. On our return, we're going to find the exciting conclusion. Seneca Polytechnic against Purdue University Gold. See you in a moment.
get to you.
Well, we're back and we're about to hop onto this Anubis. It's the first time for us this season, but it's also going to be the first time for one of our two teams, right? And for Seneca, this is going to be a challenge that hopefully they've been, keeping in the scrims and ready to showcase what they've got.
Oh, it feels bad. Even the third map that isn't necessary, I think, even the fact that they haven't been letting that through into a decider that wasn't needed, that is a little bit telling. And when you're talking about in comparison, this is a map that at least they got some reps, a big victory as well against Drexel, 13-3 on the side of Purdue. Yeah, it does give me a lot of positive signs from them. I do think that there's a reality here where I want to say not that competitive on Mirage, but relatively competitive Ancient. I think you could go back to a not that competitive Anubis, in all honesty.
Yeah, I really agree. I think that unfortunately it could be the scenario where you have the favorite team starting off a little bit slow, the underdog's a little bit juiced, even thinking that they're about to come up in here and have to do it with a sub, right? That's probably going to get them going a little bit. It's a lot of fury that they show on map number 1, and even a blowout. That was, pretty nice at the 13-4. But I think it's that Ancient that kind of sets the standard of what we're about to see. They look to be on at an entirely different level. Must have been a nice 3-minute, halftime between those two games to get themselves settled, because they're a completely different Purdue team.
Well, and who made it that happen, right? It was Dardar Man. Sasha, I think, really stepped up in a couple of those later rounds on the
CT side, but both Dardar Man and Stag were making significantly different plays than they were on map number one. On map one, they looked tentative. They looked unsure of themselves. And honestly, when they were hesitant in those moments, they were just missing those shots that usually are gimmies or definites or certainties. But that was not the case at all on Ancient. They got back into this. They looked good. They felt good. And it was a consistency as well once they got into the CT side. I think that Seneca got stuck into a difficult scenario, but they're going to have to find a way to win even despite that. And unfortunately, it's looking like the knife round wasn't kind to them. Don't win that. They're going to have to start CT side, and that makes it all of the things I just said even more true and even more difficult.
Yeah, and even since the update at Tier 1 tournaments, I've seen that the stats have really kind of stayed the same in terms of the T-round win percentage, like maybe slightly better for the defense. I think still collecting stats on that, right? It's only been out for about a month, so got to see how the new standard is set on this Anubis. Collegiate Classic, when we last had it in the pool, I think it's worth noting. Got to see it all the time. Nade's going to come through Purdue, though. Are they going to be canceling this A-hit?
They are. Run away. Alt, meanwhile, hoping that he can get something, but he only can claim the one entry that he had. Dardar on the retreat. Picked up the other on the flank. Seneca now outside looking in. They take full sidewalk control as well. With that kill, it's very difficult.
Dotsie will try and spar. Clear one player off the site even further. It's Alt and Sasha that have paid their price in this round. They're now swinging for it. It's Dardar Man with 2 kills. Long range. Put those players away. Purdue to continue their momentum from Ancient onto Anubis.
Yeah, it's not very often that you're going to see such a dominant second half that Purdue put together on that Ancient, limiting Seneca to just 1 T-side round to the halftime. Isn't going to be the full investment here for Seneca. They just save 1 upgrade onto a P250. And, well, that should be a pretty clear indicator to Sasha that they should not go mid.
Warning sent. Seen by everybody who's important to read it. USPs will be diving into the A sites. And honestly, like, I'm kind of mad I didn't see him, like, you know, flood 5 pistols into canals. Really get freaky with it.
Dude, this...
Oh my god.
Well, I was going to comment on that USP.
Woo.
Do you know what that USP is called? Wait, hold on.
It has just disappeared from my memory, and we're
What?
seeing a pistol clutch come from where? Oh my goodness! A lap just pulled up with the greatest play of the NECC collegiate season that we've seen on stream. 3 kills out of that pistol against the steel of the rifles to make it 1-1. What was that? That was during the Yap session, Vincent. That was during a time you should have no right to clutch.
I mean, Alep been the guy, I think, you know, struggling to like keep up at times in this best of 3 individually, and he just tapped him down. Purdue not giving any respect to Alep whatsoever, and he shows him why that was a mistake that hopefully they won't make again. That is incredible. From 0 to hero, Seneca Polytechnic invest 1 P250, and it's that P250 that gets them the round.
Flashed in, Purdue. Even if you just got that clutch, we're still going to be coming to your site and kicking you out just as quickly. It's a lap in our van that hit the deck at the beginning of this Anubis. You know, maybe it was that clutch was their way back in. Wedged out pretty quickly. Twick's going to find a player standing, head turned. Festi will try and keep up this 1 gun.
Lee, can you miss it, man? That's what just happened on beat. Dardar with some really nice injuries. That's something that he actually had on lock over the course of Ancient pretty consistently. When he was entering on the T side, usually you didn't want to be there. Seneca, I think, made some wise decisions on the B side of Ancient where they mostly gave the site and then played retake. Allowed Dardar Man to be limited. That's not really an option except on A. And even then, that's not really a reasonable option either. So as much as you are impressed with what just happened, not going to be a long-term thing for Seneca. At least, maybe not. I have bought, once again, could afford 2 M4s. It's the limited utility that's concerning. Purdue, rocket back over to B. Why not?
Arvan surviving with Alap, but not for a long time. Even catching some bullets in the side while walking out the door. Molly that's going to be right in front. Smoke blooms in front of Temple. And they just crush who's ever coming through Canal. Yeah, right. Never going to pull that one off. Everybody rotating into CT, and that's just a dream of a start.
I mean, if Festi's on the flank, like, he's already here, but I think the bomb is just too far gone with Vesti down. Round over. Won't even get to save anything. Purdue. You're starting to feel the class that they do have. We didn't get to see over the course of the early stages of this best of 3 from Purdue. Should be Seneca on a full save now. Even these couple of upgrades, yeah, it's only a couple. Not exactly affordable given their loss bonus.
Danger. Dardar Man clears out that corner. This is a nice structure that they got to this T side. Moving in packs. You can tell that Purdue are likely going to be moving pretty untouchably. Just in terms of what plays they're calling up. The way that they're fragging out together is simple, but is what you need to succeed on an Anubis. Please.
Can I ask for real this time? What this gun is called?
This gun.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got to be like
Royal?
one of them new CS2 ones, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
got
it's
the
sick. That's why
CS2,
I'm
like CS Midnight or something? CS UPS Midnight? It's surely not. I mean, I feel like that's a older skin.
USB. I was like, what do you mean UPS?
Oh, I hope I didn't say that.
You did. I was so confused. I was so... Oh, that's funny.
Well, at least something will get posted. I'm not talking about from the service. This is 4th round up from Purdue.
They're rocking and rolling with this thing. Up was available for Seneca Polytechnic last time. Not going to be available in this one. And again, I'm pretty consistently concerned about the levels of utility from Seneca. They keep getting just the bare minimum.
Yeah, we really need a lot of utility to go and like actually have a chance to win here on Anubis. Just seeing this player walk forward a little bit further in middle. Trying to hop on his head. Just the fast and I think more proper way to get that line is going to be sniffed out. Seen there. RTX going crazy. Both of these players dead in canals. Not Vesti elsewhere. We'll find this. It's a new part of the map. They opened up that window to allow you to throw more nades to the site. RTX continues his terror. But Festi gives his position away. Throws that molly into the site, and they know he's going to be gunning from here.
Festi, that's a dangerous game, pal. I don't know if you want to play it. Though Dusty, they have less than 20 health, either of them. Really not. Really not a 1v2. gosh, he's been dinked. He's been dinked, but they're out of ammunition. Is there enough time? Yes, there is. Dusty pulled off a clutch. And another victory. Seneca, they've needed miracles every time here on Anubis, but they've got another one. At least Purdue not in a dire strait. Could be doing okay. Sasha, AWP for him, and Seneca. Let me give it to Dusty. I feel like everybody's kind of had the chance at the scope at this point. Arvan, Mirage, Alip had it a couple of rounds ago, and now Dusty. Ooh, what a nice adjustment. He can survive.
Yeah, Lap was the previous opper for this roster, so that will feel as a comfort for him. You know, if offered it on the secondary protocol. Bob, of course, is meant to be that op-in game leader. They've definitely succeeded without him. Impressively. Against better opponents. A site crawl. They're just going to contact into Twix right now, who just sees the back of the player and now sees all this utility raining on his head. This was never going to be the correct output that he wished for, but alt swings, and this is looking really convincing here. Purdue dropped this fifth as soon as this bomb was practically down. Alap and Arvan shouldn't go for this. It's a 2 versus 4. They've got these guns. They're also in need of rounds. Swings, gets this first kill. It could be a nice double, but where there's one, there's two, and RTX realizes that. A first shot is now presented. Now the rest of the way forward is going to be even more difficult. Stag and Alt get to go and illustrate this exactly how they please. A player that is now right up to the pillar, and they have this amount of time on the bomb left. They don't even need to check it. Just do your due diligence, cover the bomb, and get that 5th round.
Yeah, Purdue scaring me there. Or excuse me. Yeah, Purdue scaring me. Just because they're swinging before Arvan even tapped the bomb or like is making any audio cues. But I mean, they dominate their way onto the bomb site. The spacing was great. They get themselves opener. And whatever Alt did to Dusty there probably should be a crime in some way or shape or form. Never stopped on Dusty's screen that we could see. Just sprinted through, headshot, bang, you're dead. Rounds now for Purdue. Arvan, saved up, isn't going to do him much good when he's dead.
Lap sprinting out. Got to hold this site aggressively, and he chooses a really aggro angle to go and hold that. Stasha covering back lines of it. Smoke that goes right further into the site. Now RTX firing back at that MP9. Gonna keep him right at range. Sniffing this thing is Dutsy. The only player with a K.
Oh, but Nefesti dead. They were already barely going in for this. Now they're definitely not. Unless Dusty wants to get creative. Oh, he does.
Gosh. Gonna take at least one. We're gonna set alarm bells off.
Imagine if he goes for the bomb there.
With a little bit more time, I can see it.
It was kind of close. He might have had it if he just beelined it. Not certain, but I'll tell you this. Probably better than what he got out, which was $600 extra. And Seneca at this point, starting to force buy just because they need rounds, but I think this is the wrong approach.
Dusty around this corner. D9 can control at least what's in front of it. Dusty deeper than the deepest man. Can't go for 2.
Oh, great coverage from Alt. And as much as this maybe would have been a problem, Arvan already gone down. Alt's being loud. Twit solo. At least now has an AK.
Twix onto Dardar. Start of a 1 versus 3. With a molly in his face. I think he's about to be flashed through. Sprints through the fire. Can attempt to land an impossible spray onto this headshot angle around this site. RTX, though, a perfect flash to extend the lead to 5. 7 rounds total. Purdue's T side is looking not a day stale from where this map left the pool 9 months ago and then got dragged back. This is sort of the tone that we were seeing back then that may reign and be the true same now. Like I said, it doesn't really feel like statistically some of those things have changed.
No, but it's also just about what Purdue are doing. I mean, RTX having a great game. We've talked about Dardar and the amount of entries that he's delivering. Everyone capable, no one falling behind. And Seneca aren't doing themselves any favors either. Purdue take attack pause here, but Seneca are continuing to keep buying no matter what. And on the CT side, this is just a losing strategy. 9 times out of 10. Seneca making decisions like they've already lost this game, but this game is not lost.
Bertha goes further forward. I mean, the focal point out of this Molotov looking so dang strong. Posting these entries like it's nothing as they fly through. And Twix is going to be here. Oh, shot in the back. Sasha takes a whole lot of damage from that. 45 HP. Twix with a great pivot. And at that point, honestly, the 1 is good enough. A 3 versus 2. But it's the positioning of the lap that is the most troublesome. With Festi back turned, he should be able to get this kill. And Seneca, they get their 3rd round, reaching in the 2 versus 3 retake.
Every round that Seneca have won feels like they've just had to pull off a miracle to get there. They've done it from nothing, from nowhere. This is another one of those. Really nice work from Festi. He's going to claim an op to bring into the next round for a Lap or Dusty or whoever, really. I think that's going over to Dusty. But, yeah, just a little bit overzealous from Purdue. Going in before they need to. Last man in camera caught between a rock and a hard place. 2 players swinging him at the same time.
There's Arvan.
Gonna need it a little bit more.
I was gonna say, yeah, it feels like we're missing that big presence back on Ancient. It's bled out in this series, kind of like the energy of Seneca. Avesti with a great double kill there. The dictator of Hebox.
Where that came from?
My.
How is it possible that all those bullets missed?
A lap just typed to him. A lap just typed to him after that. That is just so funny. You know, I know we're in an official here, Vincent. I know that we're in a 3rd map here. It's the regular season. These are games you can't be losing or taking not seriously, but it's a game. We have fun. And you see a little bit of the camaraderie there.
A little smile. Crack a smile at any time. Hope that just forget about that maybe if you're on the T side. Stag, if I'm not
Happens
mistaken.
to the best of us, genuinely.
Yeah, it really does. Purdue, they've had a lot of success about just walking up here and exploding out into B. Gonna run it back.
Got a lap right in front, and unfortunately, he's feels a little bit of sleep at the line. A Festi with a good double kill. Purdue are going to finally get this bomb down. But it feels like this is the first time towards the end of here in the first half, we're getting this energy back from Seneca that they're not just going to be pushed around here.
Yeah, it's mostly from a Festi as well. 3v3. Hits for all three of them. It's a really uncomfortable re-smoke. Op trying to break through a smoke sidewalk as well. This is really bad for Seneca.
Sasha almost won at the end. Holding long range. I'm afraid this defuse would have to have started a couple seconds sooner to even be possible. It's Purdue with the lead of 4 right now as they dominate here on the third map, where they're the only team between really much of Group D that has played it.
8-4 though isn't really all that absurd. I mean, Seneca, I don't even think they have to get a pistol round for this to be a second half that goes places. Start to get Arvan online. We've already got a Festi, Dusty playing well, and Alep playing the best that he has, all best of 3. The pieces are in place here for Seneca. I mean, a pistol round makes it even better. 4 stacked on A. Purdue calling an interesting one off the rip. Seneca are nowhere near.
Yeah, they see the man throwing the fake, and he's saying, let me finish throwing my utility. His team just scrambles into the other site. Festi has an interesting handle in this round, but I feel like committing to this position really means his death. And you're going to have one less Seneca player here to pull it across the line. Purdue trying to push this thing with their pistols, but these Glocks are looking really sturdy so far. Seneca, shut it down.
I mean, they had the right read. All that A fakery wasn't really necessary when Purdue have 4 on the A bomb site from the beginning. Called out a spawn, and Purdue with a gamble or 1 start that just doesn't work out. I love the wrinkle that Seneca had with the mid player too. Just holding to cut off rotations was real nice. They're gonna eco. They're not going to force into this. I like this decision. I think that it's a smart way to approach things. They are gonna stack. 5, in fact. Ooh. The bomb's just been handed over. There's no longer any risk. Alep just here to farm.
Bomb will be playing on A momentarily. But right now, we can just see this. It's comedy. Creating an altercation in CT. Does Bomb will go down? Purdue, I'm sure, will have something to say about it. They're quite a ways away, though.
I don't really know that these Mac 10s are worth anything, so hope you can get a kill.
There's a check. Arvan, their MP7 is swinging and not afraid of these unarmored opponents. Now, why would he be now? A spray down that he'll put through. It was a really rough start that he had to the CT side, so if they can get the hand hot finally in the second, then they should have a good chance of here only within a distance of 2 of really making something of this second half.
Yeah, I mean, I said it at the start that 8-4, it's a good half, but it's about average for the T side. You're not doing anything groundbreaking. You're not changing the game for the map of Anubis. So you're gonna need to do something a little bit different. Sasha, hoping and praying for a nice spam. Won't be given it with that opportunity. This is a pretty big bonus with the 2 SMGs that Seneca hold on to. You're deploying a lot of their utility in the first 30 seconds. They'll have a few nades and a few flashes, but a couple of smokes is all that's left. Alt has one today.
Great spam. And now Alt also, at the same time, it's the way you start out a CT side. Seneca barely get their first round off, and this doesn't really look like much of a default anyway.
I mean, it's a default in as much as Seneca were everywhere across the map, but it didn't really have much to it. It's almost just like Seneca were standing in positions because those are the right spots to be in, to wait, or to look for aggression. Am I crazy? Has the map always been like orange and blue?
Just, I mean, yes. I know things will
No.
get like...
The producer's saying it indicates height. I just feel like I haven't... okay. I feel like I haven't seen that on any other HUD. I was like...
You can get into the depths of a couple of different parts of this Anubis. For example, in Temple and in Camera, gets a little bit deeper. Molly that will go right in front of them will stop the lens from zooming, but Alt looks through the smoke and puts out a really good shot. Gonna see his teammate aggressively swinging through the top.
When man's still here on B, it's gotta be Stag. Oh, and he can't offer the multi. He does deliver. And Purdue happy with his output. RTX a little overzealous swinging in from Temple's side. Doesn't go down. 2 in a row for Purdue Gold. That's been enough for Seneca to be bested. This is where I really think that their Ancient started to get out of hand. They just 4-spot and 4-spot and 4-spot. Dusty didn't get the memo. It's save time. Who does he think he is? Calamity?
Huh. That's a good reference for you. Still competing he is on a couple of mixed teams at the top of NA.
Isn't he on In Control?
I believe so.
It's a real team, not a mixed team.
Well, I think the last memory I had was him playing on, like, some mixed team. And then you said that just now, and it made me remember, so.
Welcome.
They got a nice American-Canadian mix over there. The Tier 2 is an interesting place, but when the Pistols get into the place, they also feel a little bit rambunctious. Got a kill in this. 2, in fact. A lap still holding along, but the bomb so far in this site.
Flank, watch the flank.
Sag coming in and stabbing.
All right. Shouldn't be worried. I should not be worried for them. Purdue, they got all their bases covered. Dusty did get a kill. He's not particularly that far off. It is really very Calamity-esque, though, ironically.
Inspired by the best. SMG player in North America. Yeah, you were waiting for me to finish my sentence. Oh, that might not even be too...
Fortunately, RTX,
much of a
you
claim.
can't go back to where you thought the spawn is and then go through the smoke from spawn, because then it's not really quite right. It will
Gonna
get
be a
access.
tough one. Purdue still behind this. See bodies hopping through his smoke. And will be thwarted for a moment. Seneca, they can frag out, they can pug out on this T side, but it really doesn't feel like there's any strats coming up here.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I was like making a real point about like a miss smoke and such that Purdue had done, and in the meantime, Seneca just like sit and wait for a second and then kill 3 people, and then the rest of Purdue sprint through the smoke into Seneca's backline, and they're happy with it. That'd be the most absurd round in a while. 2-1. control heavy. You're putting themselves on the front foot. It's just a leg, though.
Sasha sees Dusty die to that Molotov. At least their life has some value, seeing their utility still paying off. Stag and RTX go looking down below, and this is outside of B. Unfortunately, this is where oppositely the bomb is headed.
This is a intelligent move for Seneca. I think they understand that they just got mid control, probably gonna get somebody rotating over to A if there wasn't one already. And the common reaction from losing mid is to take Canal. And so, seeing as Seneca, they weren't in Canal, reasonable thought that that's where the CTs are located. RTX is gonna claim one head, but I mean, surely they just save, right? It would be real nice, yeah, for Purdue to have these M4s. RTX doesn't need any saves. His bank account tells a different story.
Finally out of funds. It sort of feels like on that Purdue end. What's the call here? What's the choice? Are they really going to be gambling, scrambling for a round like this? Maybe with a half buy, I see Dardar getting the Kevlar, and that makes me think he's going to at least go for a deagle. But nobody else reaching for anything. It's just going to be that little bit invested because he can afford it.
Yeah, Purdue, I'm happy to report their decision making with regard to the buying and saving a lot tighter. Oh my Stag. Probably Festy. Any more where that came from. It's the op next.
It's dead on him in the smoke. Still with alt on this boost. Arvan is so sure that he's there.
You ain't
Boy,
wrong.
will he be disappointed watching back this demo. Alt with the kill. Dardar easily can't be killed. This is a 4 versus 2. And Seneca against the pistols. Some of these players just bought a deagle. RTX bought nothing. And he has an AK. Separated. Bomb still in the back of Arvan. You have 2 players leaving the A site and going into CT. That does mean, though, if they can get this read, they can set up a post plan without anybody having a problem. That's where they're headed.
Yeah, but they're not going to just walk in or just run in loud. You've got to respect the fact that Purdue could be here. They hesitate for just a second. Now Seneca getting the bomb planted. Guns for all. Stag. Wait for everybody to arrive. 4 come from camera. It's a flood of CTs.
And they really do it? I can't believe my eyes. With those pistols, with those bodies, with nothing on their bellies. No Kevlar, only on a couple. Maybe the one rifle they saved onto alt is all they need. It's 12 that Purdue set up initially. They just got to sign it and send it away. And put another Anubis win in the catalog.
One round away from doing just that. Perfect statement. And where that comes from, surely this is where they finalize that. Seneca, 4 rounds straight is the requirement. Ooh! Basti continues to level up. He has not stalled, not stopped. He's been the individual to level Seneca up into these rounds.
you're going to see him as the tip of the spear. He's looking forward in the temple and won't get shot he wanted. It's a double here, picked up by Stag, and a triple here for Purdue. This may be the stunted moment, and Seneca sent away, but Dutzy all alone. A 1 versus 4 clutch that's caught half the bullets around this corner, and it's done. Seneca fall out of this series. They set a really good tone, but the reverse sweep came jawing back. 13-8, back-to-back 13-8 for Purdue to reverse sweep.
Beautiful stuff out of Purdue to recover this best of 3 after they just got smacked in the mouth on Mirage. Seneca came out swinging in a way that nobody really expected. But Purdue keep themselves in it. Ancient, a very different conversation. You know, we talked about Dardar and Stag stepping up. I mean, Stag in that last round. True on this Anubis as well. There's just so much more to this Purdue team than we saw on their Mirage. They did look a whole different team, and it was a whole different ball game once they got past that Mirage map.
I mean, you know, even where you flop over onto that Ancient, you see what type of team, I mean, Seneca were like looking to roll onto that one with. It sort of feels like they had more going on there, but onto that Anubis kind of really got scared as to what this thing could come into. It's a lot more life shown for Seneca in a series where in totality, I'm walking out of here now saying that back-to-back series, I'm seeing them go the distance of 3 maps. It's just on that 3rd map that I got to see them be a bit better on. And I think if that's, you know, considering here, likely that this is a bit abnormal for them to end up on an Anubis, that can't be an excuse, right? We're already in week 5 of this regular season, so we can't be running into our pool being a problem with the maps, right?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think that's definitely a fair statement to make. More than that, though, I do think that both Anubis and Ancient were competitive, you know, for Seneca. So there is that to fall back on. I think that they, you know, individually were stepping up. I'm really impressed with what Festi did towards the end. You know, Dusty had some incredibly consistent moments over the course of this whole best of 3. I know that Seneca currently 0-5. It feels like, I don't want to say they don't deserve to be 0-5 because I haven't seen all the games, but this team feels like they're capable of being, you know, a mid-table team. Right now, doesn't look like that, but I got to give them props. They absolutely shot far above that, you know, level that they are at least on paper.
Yeah, I think especially, you know, on that first map, they put up a decent level on Ancient, and I wouldn't really rate it the same on that Anubis, but it looks a little bit better, you know, just off of the sheet. I'm sure we're going to come back to that one in a couple of weeks. I think Anubis is going to quickly become a part of a lot of teams' pool again, because Train definitely wasn't popular in the collegiate space, kind of wasn't up top in a lot of places. That's also why it was removed, I feel like. So it feels like this is not the last time we're going to be getting Seneca on. We're going to be seeing them attempt. But yeah, an 0-5 deficit to be at the beginning of the season is really a bad place to be. And for, you know, how well we saw them play on that Mirage, I think they should be able to do it, but in a deadly division, Vincent. We've already talked about how they're in Group D. This is really going to be difficult.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it as well. Difficult position to be in, but a victory for Purdue. They now sit 3-1 on the season. A much better performance out of them as they bounce back. With that, though, it's going to do it for us here. We still got action, though, here. If you're interested on the NECC, we've got Worcester Polytechnic Goats up against the Southern New Hampshire Yellow on the mainstream. Go check that out. Just the NECC side of things. It's Rainbow Six next week in this same time slot, and then Counter-Strike comes back in just 2 weeks' time. So make sure that you're tuning in for all of that. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, though, to the NECC. We'll be seeing you next time. Peace out and have a good night.